But because the super majority of the time, 99% of the time, his stop is going to work, he's going to be stopped out way before it's in the money, way before. And so that keeps his risk consistent. It keeps his losses consistent. Let me jump into where it's better to be a great risk manager than a great trader. Let's look at this with the concept from the zero DTE aspect, you guys. We talk about doing the zero DT trade through the statistical day trading course that Dr. Meadows talked about, and we have a statistical kind of probability of how we do the trade. It's not a traditional day trade of 50-50 type of shot if you're buying futures contracts over you're buying shares, but it is risk management that you have to focus on, right? If we put on a trade and we have, say, we have an 80% chance of winning $1,000, but or 80% chance of winning something of the $1,000, but we have 20% chance of losing and potentially losing $10,000 or $20,000, then that is a scenario where we have to have good risk management. We have to focus on reducing the risk as the trade continues to potentially go against us. So if you want to be a successful trader, you have to think about risk first, what you can lose before what you can make, and when you're going to make adjustments and not when you're going to just take your profits. And you have to have no going past points, right? You have an uncle point where you say, I'm not going to do anything except follow my rules once it gets to a certain point. And so what I mean by that, you guys, is that when Dr. Meadows does his zero DT trade, he always has on a stop loss order. When that stop loss order hits, let's just say he has a trade on that looks something like this, and that stop loss order gets hit on the zero DT short strike here, he's out of the trade. His stop loss got hit, he's out of the trade. And then what he does is come back into the trade. He basically does a roll away, as what we call here at Dorian Trader, a roll away, but he does it after the trade is stopped out. And that's exactly what we're doing when we are doing a roll away. What he's doing is basically this. Let's just say Dr. Meadows came back into the trade and it looks something like this, you guys. What he's doing is basically a roll away, because this is going to become his new short leg, and then this would be his new long leg if he was moving the entire spread, if he did like a 20 or 30 point wide type of spread. He normally does a wider spread, so he's only moving his short legs. But it's like this. If he got stopped out here and he's basically buying that back, he's got stopped out, but it's basically just a roll away of the short leg only, and it's something like this. So he's coming back in. In this example, he got stopped out at $4, almost $5. Normally, it's going to be sooner than that. It's going to be like something like $3. Let's say he got stopped out here at this $3. Well, if he comes back in at the 74.15, well, instead of having a $3 debit, he now only has a $1.50 debit. He cut that loss in half, not including the premium, the original credit that he had, and not including rolling up the non-tested side, which would be the call side in this area, to reduce the risk or potentially still reduce the loss or potentially still win on the trade. And most of the time, let's say at least 50% of the time, he can still win on the trade, and almost 100% of the time, he reduces the loss significantly at the very least. But it's the same kind of concept that we teach here if you're not using a stop loss order. But if you're not using a stop loss order, being a good risk manager is like having a stop loss. You have the discipline to stop all the time immediately if it gets to a certain point. So what I mean by that is that if you had this trade on, and let's say your absolute adjustment point is 20 points away from the short leg. So on this put side, if you were at this 74.55, and this was your trade, let's say it was 20 points wide. Well, you would adjust here, no matter what you think. If you think it's going back the other direction, or if you think it's not going to go down anymore, or if whatever you think, you should adjust this at this point if you're following your rules. Because if you had a stop loss order on, it's going to be stopped out, right? And that's the beauty of having a stop loss order. It forces you to have discipline. Before we continue with the video, I just want to quickly point out, if you need any additional help, please consider joining our trading club. You can do that by clicking on the link in the description area, and you'll get a 3-month trial for a flat fee of $60. We look forward to seeing you in the trading club. Back to the video. But if you can't develop discipline without the stop loss, then you're never going to reach your trading potential. You have to learn to have discipline with trading, being a good risk manager. At this point, you're going to always be able to keep your loss manageable if you follow your rules and have an uncle point. And so for me, my first adjustment with the 0DT trade is 20 points away. I'm going to adjust regardless if I'm 20 points away. Then after I adjust, I might wait for 15 points away. I'm going to adjust absolutely no later than 15 points away. And then it's never, or I try to make it never. Sometimes the market moves really fast. I try to never not adjust if it's 10 points away. Nothing's 100% of the time, but that is what I'm trying to do so that it's never in the money. That should be your rule with these type of trades. With the 7DT trade, the 1DT trade, the 0DT trade, you never want it to be in the money, and ideally, not even close to being in the money. Dr. Metals is rarely ever in the money, and if he's in the money, it's because the market dropped a significant amount really, really fast and shot through his stop, or it's jumped up a significant amount really, really fast and blew through his stop. But because the super majority of the time, 99% of the time, his stop is going to work, he's going to be stopped out way before it's in the money, way before. And so that keeps his risk consistent. It keeps his losses consistent. Some of you heard me talk about that over the last 6 years of him doing the trade. Most of the time when he loses, it's no more than $2,000. And if he has a loss that is 3, then I know something, he tried to be a lot more aggressive that day. It was just a really tough day. If it's anything over 3, but it's a consistent, he knows, okay, when I'm lose, I'm based on where he trades, I'm basically going to lose 2,000, no more than 2,000. And then he can get that back the next day. He can get that back within 2 days usually because he's got a right type of formula, right? If you set your own rules, your risk management rules, and I just say your rule is 20 points away or 25 points away, you're going to adjust, then great. It can be a dollar amount of what the trade is trading for. Your spread. You can use stop loss orders just like Dr. Metals, but come back in just like Dr. Metals, just doing a roll away. You can use zones, right? The green, yellow, and red zone. But whenever it gets to that red zone level that it's time to adjust, you do it immediately. You don't play around. If you wait and you say, okay, I think it's going to go back, and I say it's already in the money, and it's a 0DT trade, for example, you're only exacerbating the situation. The longer you stay in the money and the more time passes, the more you're going to get close to a max loss. Right now, it's still just an hour, a little over an hour into the trading session, but this is going for a little over half the max loss of this trade because it's a 20-point wide spread. It's $2,000. This is going for almost $1,000. It's going for 1,000 now. Let's just say 1,000 just to get paid. Filled. It's going for 1,000 already. You do not want that to stay in the money. You want to avoid it going in the money, but you can't have the concept of, okay, well, I'm going to just bet that it's going back in the way. Yes, that's a strategic it's not a strategy sometimes. But if I ever do it, and which I talk about it in an adjusting course, and some of you've been around long enough and saw me do this in the past, it's still always an uncle point. It's a strategic strategy to saying, okay, I've had to adjust so much. I don't want to adjust again because then I'm going to have to bring up the non-tested side even more. Then I get no way to win on both sides, basically. No wriggle room on both sides. So I'll play a concept of I'm going to let it play out. And if it goes in the money, I'm going to let it play out to a certain amount. But most of the time, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to say uncle once it's about 10 points in the money. But it all depends on what time of day it is. If it's early in the day, then I'm willing to hold a little bit. But if your rule is never, and I think that is now my new rule, is never go into money. It's some of you see my rules that I've pointed out. It's never go into money because I don't want to. I'm thinking more of a risk manager concept. My new rule with 0 and 1 and the 7DT trade is I'm going to avoid going into money. And if for some reason, let's say it's a 1DT trade or whatever type of trade it is, and let's say the market moves so fast that I'm in the money, I'm not going to sit there and say, well, I think it's going to go back out of the money. I'm going to move it as fast as I can. And I'm okay with that debit because as you guys can see, a second ago, this was going for $1,000, right? If I buy this back, and let's just say I decided I'm going to move it, and I'm going to move it out of the money to this 30 delta here. Well, that's reducing the potential loss by half right then and there, just by moving it out of the money, giving me a little bit more breathing room. Then I can reassess what's going on. But don't move it like this and add contracts. Don't add contracts yet. Because in my opinion, if you do that, you haven't let the market tell you if it's going to be more challenging. And if it's going to be more challenging, it's just going to make the situation worse by adding more contracts. The concept of adding more contracts is actually improving your odds to the point that you have really good odds to win. You don't add more contracts when the odds are not great enough. It's just too much risk. Understand how to be a great risk manager. We can all be a great risk manager. We don't have to be great traders, because the person who's the better risk manager is going to make more money over time. Think about risks, or think about what you can lose before what you can make, and be okay with doing debits. Obviously, we don't want to have to do a debit. If we can avoid it and still keep the odds on our side and be safe, then yes, that's what we want to do. But when things go crazy, when the market does 2 standard deviation, 3 standard deviation moves, it's already telling you that day it's crazy. It's doing something out of the norm. Then you have to go into risk mode. You have to go in survival mode.